All right, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for the town of Canandaigua. We're a minute early, but we're gonna start anyway. All right, we're gonna stand for the pledge and have a moment of silence briefly. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. Just want to give a reminder of the rules of tonight's meeting. We have a busy meeting, so we're going to try to be very respectful of everybody's time, and we're going to keep it to very brief comments for new people on some of the older continuing applications. But once you've had a chance, when I called once I called the case up, please come to the podium, say your name, tell me and the board the reasons for the variance request. And what we'll do is we will open it up to questions and comments amongst the audience. All comments and questions are directed at the board, not to each other. We don't want anybody having a conversation between people within the audience. We're the people that we need that need to hear your comments and discussions. With that in mind, we are going to call the first case. All right, case number, let's see, where are we? CPN 2025041. It's a continued variance. Applicant is looking to install a 26 kW generator 10 feet from the south property line in the RLD zoning district. An area variance setback an area variance for setback is required. A 2-foot side setback variance for the generator is needed, where 10 feet is proposed and 12 feet is required. The applicant can come up to the podium, please.
I made a couple
Okay.
in addition, just,
Great.
I'm sorry I don't have enough for everybody, but.
Oh, why don't you give it
Okay.
to Jason down there and
Okay.
Shannon?
I'll share mine.
I won't have one. I know it pretty well. Good evening, I'm, is that working?
Is it on?
Thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone. I'm Shauna Holtz. I'm owner of the property located at 3823 Westlake Road. My husband and I have owned this property for 40 years. And over the past 10 to 12 years, there's just been a huge increase in power outages. I've been told it may be because of we're experiencing more randomness due to our proximity to the water treatment facility. Sometimes we lose power, but our next door neighbor may not. We have literally taken multiple extension cords from our windows to our neighbors' windows and vice versa. We started exploring a generator in June, requesting that a 26-watt Kohler generator be placed on a narrow strip of land that abutted to the south side or rear wall of our garages. This required.
I'm sorry, can I just interrupt from?
Sure.
Did everybody hear? Because you were here before, I just want to.
Right, so that we're continuance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So has everybody heard the application before? I guess we can start from what changes have been made from
Okay.
the
So the change that we made, and if you'll see by the photos I provided, and I know Mike Warner has a number of photos too. By looking at the map, you'll see that it was on the side behind the garages. Now we are proposing putting it on the front, I don't know what to call it, on the side of the garage near the road. And I did a little color drawing so you can see that in that spot that Mike has his arrow where the proposed generator would be. And if you look at the photos I provided, you can see that there's like 4 foot from the end of the garage to the arbs. You can see the people walking through there. There's very easy access. There's no concerns at all. It's a higher elevation. And it gets us away from the stream, although we still need to ask for a variance with the proximity to the stream. We have been residents for 40 years. We actually have a basement in our house, which is unusual for a lakeside property. We personally have never experienced any kind of water, but we're quite a distance where we're proposing that we place it. That's where our utilities come into that area, and it makes a lot of sense to put it there. Also very accessible. The arborvitae's there about 20 feet high. You'll see they provide from the photos, it provides a lot of screening, but with the size, someone can also walk in and behind them.
So it's gonna be in the front and not on the side of the.
Correct.
grate as
But it
well.
will be completely, if you
But
can
it's
see
still
from the
within-
photos, totally camouflaged.
But it's still within the setback. The variance still has to be asked for because it's still within that required.
Right, correct.
Still within 100 feet of the stream.
Right.
It's actually gonna be an 8 variance. And variance for an accessory structure in the park.
Right, okay, got it. You guys have any questions? No.
Nope.
No?
Okay.
No. Anybody from the public have any questions? Online? No? Are you comfortable closing the hearing?
I think that I am. I feel that, the distance to the shoulder is about 11 to 12 feet. Distance to the stream is about 30 feet. So it's just a much better situation. And I do appreciate the board's time and the comments from the ECB. I think it really helped us to sort this out.
Okay, if you're comfortable closing, we have 62 days
Okay.
to make a decision. You're welcome to stay. It's probably gonna be a little bit of a wait. You can give the town a call in the morning if you don't want to stay. Just.
I think I might do that if that's okay,
Yeah.
but no one has any other questions for me.
I think we'll officially close it. guys
Thank you so much for your time.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Thank you. Do you need one of these buses? Oh, yeah, do you wanna?
You want one back?
Oh, sure, I'll take one back if you don't need it. Thank you.
Great. All righty, on to the next. Okay, this is also a continued variance hearing. The applicant, it's CPN hashtag 2025-070. Continued variance applicant is requesting to install a 250 square foot commercial speech sign. Applicant shall obtain a variance of 116 square feet for a sign area where 134 square feet is allowed and 250 square feet is proposed.
Hello, my name is Rania Cassis. I'm from Cassis Superior Signs. We are the contractors. We fabricate and install signage. So we're looking to put up a set of 48-inch high letters in the plaza. Like I mentioned before, the 48 inches high comes from doing a simple equation of the 10. You get 1 inch per 10 feet of frontage space. This frontage is 465 feet from the main road. The mileage on that road is 40 miles per hour. So we just make it big enough so when you're driving by, you can see the signage from that far. There's also 2 buildings in between the main road and the plaza, so it kind of does obstruct the view as well. They also don't have a pylon sign, so it would be making up for not having that visibility of their name on the road.
We were gonna, this is a continued application, but
Yes.
we had asked, did you happen to, or did anybody look at the other signs if we?
Yes.
Made for Sierra.
Okay, I didn't, I
Yeah.
missed that one. Oh, sorry.
You decide, a decision.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Okay. Just give me one moment here. Interesting. Now I see it. Yeah.
This is the Sierra Plaza across the street.
Right,
Kitty
right.
corner to the,
Right directly,
East,
almost
yes.
across. Okay, right.
other United Auto signs, are there other United Auto signs the same size?
Yes, so their standard size are 24, 36, and 48, because that's pretty much a standard everywhere. So that's, yeah, there's some that are in smaller plazas and stuff, but a lot of the ones out this way, we usually the minimum is 36. Just depending on the size of their building. There's also the Big Lots that is in that same plaza. I had our guys measure that, and those letters are 48 inches high, so it's the same size that we're proposing.
An immediate investigation.
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Lots. Okay, so Big Lots, when was Big Lot? That was a long time ago. That wasn't our. What was it?
No, I think that predates this.
Yeah. This.
I think that predates me
Yeah.
in Canada, but
Mm.
I mean, Mike, do you want to pull out the Big Lots? Gonna get a road.
The letters are 48, but just what's the air,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, how's letters? Right.
Yeah.
It is less letters. Mhm. That predates us by a while. It's also what's letters, I'd like to know square footage. So what is the square footage? Did you see, you said they used 48 inch
I-
letters, did you?
I don't have the square footage, but I have like the frontage, but just where it comes off the building is 36 feet 6 inches. And it's a lot, but that's a little smaller than what we have.
Yeah.
wanna
Like
test it out.
she said it's smaller, but
Mhm.
36 feet, okay, all right. But you could, you could use smaller letters. Is-
Yeah, the next step down would be a 36-inch high letter, which would be a little too small to read from that far. There's also a Lowe's down the street too that has pretty big letters, but obviously it's just those 4 letters, so it's a little bit different square footage.
Anybody have any questions? for- No,
Mike, what's their maximum? What doesn't require variance, what size,
For that space, it's,
24 or 36?
it's, well,
alright. Anybody from the audience have any questions? Online? No? All right. Are you comfortable closing?
Yes.
Okay. We have 62 days to make a
Okay.
decision, but you're welcome to figure around.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Alrighty. Next case is for German Brothers Marina at 3907 County Road 16. CPN 2025-068. It's for variance, applicant is requesting a variance to allow an addition to a pre-existing non-conforming structure with a pre-existing non-conforming use on a parcel in the RLD. No specific setback request due to there being no established bulk and area requirements for the pre-existing non-conforming use. Property currently operated as commercial marina. Proposed addition is to the maintenance facility Submission of a site plan application is pending results of the variance request. All right,
Good evening. A little hungry.
what's that?
A little hungry.
A little hungry?
Yeah.
State your name for the record.
You're welcome
And
to bring pizza for the group.
there you go. Perfect.
Good evening. My name is Peter Brew. I'm the owner of German Brothers Marina on 3907 Westlake Road in Canandaigua.
So tell us about the variance that you're asking.
My guys are cooking. I want to get them out of the sun.
Ah,
So the my request is, you can kind of see the blue line there is all it is to cover that space. Doesn't change any of the flow of the business, doesn't increase any of the capacity of the business. All it does is get my guys out of the elements. That's a big thing these days, certainly with OSHA, and there's a bill, actually, I noticed today, the bill in New York State Assembly for heat protection for employees. So that's becoming a significant issue. It's already a non-permeable surface, so it wouldn't change any of the permeability. The big thing that I would like to do is, right now, there's no all the runoff from the boats just runs into the lake today. With this, there would be a new surface that would have an oily water separator built in to that new structure. So we would be able to capture all the nastiness that comes off boats and separate that. So there would be an environmental benefit for the lake.
Yep.
So it'd be a benefit for the lake, and the benefit for my guys is really,
so you're just putting, so when you say you're just putting a structure, like a roof line?
it would be a
mean, it's
full
obviously-
physical structure. I don't know what the right terminology is.
Yeah, Bill.
A building,
Okay.
yeah, it would match the existing exterior. There'd be 3 overhead doors on the bottom of that, or the south, and 3 overhead doors in the north. So it's still, again, it's the same flow that we have today. It's just that my guys can work
undercover.
Gotcha.
There's no site restrictions. I did go and if you trust my opinion, maybe you'll go there and look, but
I drive by it every day, so.
so there was some concern about sight lines for driving.
Mhm.
And that is not the case. Like the sign that's there, you can really, I don't know if you can see it, but the building wouldn't be as tall as the sign, and the sign currently is not a site issue. So
Right.
kind of hard to see, but
So
the
it's gonna
building,
be the same continuation of the roof line, the height as well?
Yep.
And I did read the notes from the meeting the other night, so. I
it's
see
kind of
that
hard
they
to.
talked about runoff and drain water and stuff like that.
I would love it if there was a way to capture the runoff and put it in some kind of rain garden, but I don't have any way to do that. If you have suggestions, I would love that.
There's probably a couple people around here that could.
Like,
give
would
advice on.
I capture it and then have to
Hmm.
transport it somewhere like that?
What do you think, Mike? You got any?
Because there's obviously no gardens nearby there.
Okay.
There are 2 times of the year that this is a challenging area. When you pull the boats
Yes, sir.
and when you put them in. And that can be an interesting navigation down through there with a car or the large truck or anything else. With that little amount of space, especially when boats are parked right up to the white line. And this is a permanent structure you're talking about. You're talking about a garage door towards the road at this point?
No, sir.
Three doors?
They're pulling like.
Okay.
It wouldn't
So-
change the
so
flow or the
I
parking.
understand, but
or
I'm
any
just
of that.
wondering what type of structure is along the road about a car length away, what you're talking about? On that west side?
So what's that wall like that's against the wall?
I don't know, it would be a regular vinyl siding.
It's a pole barn type structure or what is it gonna?
I guess I'm not contractor. I would be sheetrock on the
Is it
inside.
gonna look like the building that you're heading
Exactly like-
onto? Exact same
Yeah.
inside, you got
It's not gonna be a pole
You got
barn. It's gonna be
shingles,
Similar
it
to
looks
what
like,
the
right?
Yes, vinyl
Just-
shake,
this thing
exactly.
right
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Like that.
But those doors are on the west side. Those doors would go away because they'd be inside the building. And they would be just doors on the south and the north.
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of structure is along the road. That's all what I'm trying to get at.
I assume you've driven by there, so you're familiar with it. A lot of it is sloped down. Probably half the structure would be below the road level. So there does,
Mike, can you pull the street, the road frontage view, because I think that changes
Yeah, it slopes down
Perspective a
during,
lot.
in that spot.
it's not.
I'm
That's
assuming
what
you're
makes
gonna
it
have
look
pretty
like
tall doors, like what he's saying about navigating the boats in and out, they have a tractor that they pull
yes,
them out with
Yeah,
now.
and just along the road.
I'm assuming they're just, yeah,
but
make
the
them high enough
road,
for you. to pull them
The
through.
roadside's just gonna be
the
vinyl
road, there'd be
sided.
no changes to
No, I
what's on
understand.
the road, the traffic on the road, how we impact the road.
And I'm not, denying the fact there's a number of structures along Westlake Road that are probably closer to this one, to the, to the edge of it.
My own building to the north is closer.
There you go.
So I'm not denying that. I'm just trying to figure out what.
Perfect.
So that corner of that building would be closer to the property line.
Are you eating that grass area?
Like a foot of it, not, obviously we'd have more precise plans.
The
If
slope stays,
yes,
so up to the road.
so again, you can see in this case, there's two boats facing north and one boat facing south. There's room for 6 boats in there, 3 coming in at each side, and that's why there'd be doors, overhead doors on the north and south side. So that gray vinyl siding that you see there, that would be what you would see at the roadside. There'd probably be windows in there just for attractiveness and for light inside.
You guys have any questions? Anything else, Dave?
I'm just wondering, maybe we have it unfold. The lines, we're not really looking at numbers, we're looking at. There's no architecturals here yet, obviously.
Right.
And I don't know whether we might be a little preliminary on this before we see exactly where it is, what it is, where the slope's gonna be, but.
If you gave me a
Obviously
glimmer
wants
of
to-
hope, I would be happy to do.
You want approval before you get into that, obviously, so.
Yeah, I think that, did you read the minutes? I think that was part of the. It's because it's already that. You know.
Right.
Pre-existing grandfathered, yeah, there's no.
So I think the concern is your variance standard of, does it impact the
Right.
neighborhood? The conditions of the neighborhood. And I guess you have a comment on that. It's hard to answer that question. It's gonna change the neighborhood or make it worse, make it better. It's hard to tell without the architectural, obviously.
You could make the case that the boats will be inside, so those boats in the yard that you drive by today that. I happen to love boats, so I think they're beautiful, but not everybody likes to drive by and see boats. The majority of those things, the majority of the boat will be in a structure, so you won't see that. So you'll see a building instead of a boat. That's subjective though.
Okay. Right. And also, like, I know you said you're gonna do something where you're the runoff. I mean, what, like, do you have something in mind or you're gonna talk to somebody? But I mean, like,
So the surface now
Yeah.
would be replaced with
okay,
a pitched surface with a drain where the water would then go, and then inside the drain is what's called an oily water separator. And that takes the nasty oil out of that and then releases the water. So
Okay.
it's a big filter, if you will.
Right.
That's for inside the building.
Inside
Right,
the
I
building,
got you.
yes,
Like you said, now it just basically kind of on the ground and.
right.
It's outside.
Right. Got it. Got it. All right. Do you have any questions or comments from the audience? We'll have you sit down and she can come up and.
Sure.
I wasn't at this meeting for this, but I've got some strong feelings about it. I did listen to the planning board review where they were going to give you some guidance, I think. And I haven't seen what their report said to the zoning board. I would like to hear that. But I know that at least two, three maybe, said that they had some severe concerns about expanding a pre-existing non-conforming use. Expanding a pre-existing non-conforming use is way different from expanding a pre-existing non-conforming building where you're talking about, setbacks and that kind of thing. I don't know of others where the town has allowed the expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use. My other thought, so one, I would like to hear what the planning board said about that. Number two is you're at a point where you've got some leverage. The residents in that area have always wanted some restriction on the parking, at least on one side of the road. Couldn't you condition any variance for an increase in pre-existing non-conforming use to require banning parking with signs and so on one side of the road to make it safer? I mean, it's just a matter of time before somebody gets killed there. It's ridiculous, as you all know. So now you've got the leverage, don't throw it away.
Would you like to come up?
I'm not an expert in this, but I don't believe it's an expansion of use.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, I mean, it's,
So what it's called. I get your point. But it's
Right.
not.
I thought it was just the building and
Yeah,
But the
so you're
use isn't changing.
expanding, any expansion is an expansion of the use under our zone,
okay,
which is the terminology. I understand your point, you're not expanding the use, it's called an expansion of pre-existing non-conforming.
okay. I thought it was the building.
Well,
That term.
what it is, right?
And to the, it's only a matter of time. It's been 50 years. And I think there's been one notable accident and that was health related in that area. When I was doing my other things here, the county said if you actually have less parking on the road, it's gonna be more dangerous, which blew my mind. Because less parking, cars are gonna go faster. Which, like I said, that was crazy to me, but having the cars there now actually makes people slow down and pay attention.
All right. Are you comfortable closing?
I just wanted to say that if it's not a hard no, if it's a, let's go on a second date kind of thing, I'd be happy to get something more professional. As far as drawings.
Okay, I mean, it is one of those cases where it is a pre-existing, you do have constraints and issues to deal with, and there's a lot of residents in that neighborhood, obviously. Have you looked at any like other options and plans or anything along that line?
So I've tried a number of ways to cover the yard already. I've put poles, I've poles up with cables going across. And no matter what I put up, it's either too light and it blows away,
Right.
or it's too heavy and it pulls the cables down. So I'm trying to do something less intrusive. There's really no other place on the property that I could put. Actually, if I put it, the only other flat surface is across the road, and that would be significantly worse for traffic, because I would be backing, if you could just go a little north on that. So that little right there, that's the only flat spot. So if I had a building there, I'd be backing from the road into the building, which would be,
And you'd still need a variance. So, I think maybe would it help us if we had something that had more numbers, like something a little more permanent? I don't know, Dave's.
No, I mean, I raised the question. I mean, I do know that it can be very tenuous with the amount of boats. I don't have any problem looking at boats, but I don't want anybody to hit any. And that's, you throw a couple of bikes in there or maybe a jogger or two. And at certain times of the year, that can be interesting through there. And you know that.
And kids running across the street.
Well, I mean, that's everywhere, but at the same time, I can understand there are not a lot of commercial ventures on Westlake Road. And you've been there, this facility's been there a long time too, and you're trying to improve it, so I can see that as well. I just thought I would ask, I don't want to hit a building, I'd rather hit a boat, so. I don't want to hit either.
Okay. So you guys are comfortable then voting on it? I'm comfortable. Are you comfortable closing?
yes.
All right, we have 62 days. Welcome to stick around tonight, or you can make a call tomorrow morning to the town.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you very much.
thank you very much. All righty. Next in line, we have Marathon Engineering for Parkside Drive. CPN 2025-082 variance. Applicant is seeking 3 variances from the Zoning Board of Appeals for height, facade within the build to zone, and transparency. A facade variance of 28% is needed where 47% of facade is proposed to be in the build to zone and 75% is required. An 18% transparency variance is needed where 32% is proposed and 50% is required. A 3-foot 4-inch height variance is needed where a 10-foot 8-inch is proposed and 15 is required. These requests are associated with the construction of the DePaul, Ontario Next Steps community residence that includes 14 bedrooms, all single bedrooms in a 1-story, 9,400 plus square foot structure and form-based code mixed-use development zoning district associated with CPN 2025-01.
They do not need the height there.
They do not need the height variance. I remember you saying that.
I can touch on that as well as we get into it.
Sure.
Good afternoon or evening, I guess. My name's Jay Calabrese. I'm with Marathon Engineering. Here to present the DePaul, Ontario Next Steps project located on Parkside Drive. With me tonight from DePaul is John Penna. And virtually is Chris Syracuse. And from SWBR, we have Dan Lanning and Gabby Marino. As you kind of just said, it's a 14-bedroom, single-story building along Parkside Drive. This facility will have a similar use to Trolley Station, which is the building just south of this proposed project and also managed by DePaul. It will have common areas with kitchen, dining room, bathrooms. It's a short-term facility. The maximum stay is 120 days with 24-hour staffing. As you said, we are requesting 2 variances, one for the build to zone of 28% and the transparency variance of 18%. And also noted, there was the building height, but we met with the town at the PRC meeting, kind of reviewed the form-based code with them, and they granted to waive that variance. This site previously received approval to a similar building, multi-story though, variance back in October of 2022. So the main reason we are requesting the build to zone variance is because of many utilities that run along the south side of Parkside Drive. So there's electric, fiber optic, and soon to be a water main that runs along there. So we have buffered off of that build to zone roughly about areas. And that will kind of assist us in giving a good buffer to those easements and that the utility, but also still giving us the feel. And as you can see, we angled the building to kind of complement Parkside Drive, so it'll still visually look as if it's within that build to zone. I'm gonna pass it over to Dan to touch on the transparency.
Thank you. My name is Dan Gladding. I'm with SWBR, the architecture firm on this. And as Jake just noted, you know, the utility, that's actually a utility easement we're not allowed to build on, which keeps us far back at the farthest back edge of the build to zone. And so we're kind of as tight as we can responsibly be to that easement, but still skirting the edge of that build to zone. That's the need for that variance. The transparency variance is simply a use-based thing. The form-based code's 50% transparency envisions a commercial type use. Offices, medical, retail would be higher than that. This is a residential type use where you commonly get transparencies more in the 20-25% range. These are people's bedrooms. Privacy is important. So we have expanded in large windows to get closer to the requested transparency, but it's really just it's a different use type, and it doesn't make sense to open up people's bedrooms that much effectively. We have concentrated extra transparency on the slide before this in the living area, the kind of center area. We had to break our elevation into 3 parts because the building bends, but added extra windows in those common areas, which is the living area, the dining area, where the residents will be spending most of their time, so that where the activity is, you get the transparency, and then tighten it back up to still larger than typical, but more reasonable bedroom sized windows in the sleeping rooms. And I think the first image on this is a color rendering of what it would look like, and kind of shows what I'm describing.
So, and Mike, you probably know this more, so, because it's in the commercial area, that's why there's, I mean,
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
that what?
It's in the
okay.
form-based
Right.
zone.
That's part of that.
This
That's
zone
right.
for the form-based code is
So
kind of in a
that's-
broader area, envisioning more future commercial growth.
Right,
This
So
specific
that-
area of Parkside is surrounded by apartments, and so this is
Right.
kind of fitting with
we
what
just
is-
didn't
Well, it's
make an
surrounded by
exception for that,
A
or
building
what?
that looks an awful lot like this.
The immediately adjacent building is owned by DePaul, as
Yeah, I
this
was
will
gonna
be.
say.
I designed that one as well, so
Yeah.
yes, I looked
Maybe
at
some
that as
influence.
context. Immediately to the north is another affordable housing complex targeting veterans, and then across the street is another apartment
Gotcha.
complex, much
Right.
older.
We
So
just don't
we're-
have language in there, I'm
Right,
assuming, for.
right, right.
Okay.
As Parkside wraps around closer to 395, it makes a ton more sense that more commercial looks happen there. This end of 395 right towards Macedon is quieter. It's residential right now, and it's still use-wise well within the code. Just the form is envisioning more commercial uses.
This is also, I believe, like at the edge of the form-based code.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
The far
Gotcha.
end.
All right. Anybody have any questions for? No? You? No, if you're,
Excellent.
if you're comfortable sitting down, do you want to come up and finish up, or
No, I
anything
guess-
else to
yeah.
add, or, okay?
Nope, I think that kind of hits everything.
Anybody have any questions from the audience? Anybody online? All right, well, you're welcome to stick around for our decision tonight. We're closing. But we typically have till, 62 days to, and I'm assuming you're comfortable closing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Got it. All right. Next in line is Anthony Venenzia, 3542 Sandy Beach Drive, CPN 2025-8087. Applicant is seeking approval from the zoning board for multiple variances, side setback variance of 4 feet where 6 feet is proposed and 10 feet is required. Lot coverage variance of 2% where 32% is proposed and 30% is required. Building coverage variance of 5.5% where 25.5% proposed and 20% is required. Go for it.
My name is Anthony Venezia. I'm representing the Batistis for their upcoming potential project on Sandy Beach Drive. Currently, they rebuilt the house about 3 or 4 years ago, and over the last couple of years of living in it, they've kind of come to a different usage that they need to kind of upgrade the house, and they've come to the point where they want to expand the house to the lake and cover, basically build an extension over the existing deck. There is an existing deck that is under where that addition is proposed. The deck is about 7 feet away from the south property line now. We're proposing about another foot addition on the south side of that, and that's where that 6-foot setback comes in. But mostly we are just staying within the existing footprint of the deck, other than that south side. So it's gonna be extension out to the west toward the lake, a 2-story addition, a little bit of a pitch change on the roof. There's some elevations that are in there if you want to take a look at those as well. That's pretty much it. There's no other usage. It's just basically building an addition around the existing deck that's there.
Alright, and there's no, I know that, let's see. On that one edge, where is it, 4 feet from the,
Yeah, currently we're 7 feet away with the existing deck that's there.
okay,
And just by the use that and the interior space, it's a stairway to go up to the 2nd story.
okay,
And that way they just need that little bit of a push to facilitate that stairway is what they're looking for. We're also proposing some landscaping along there to buffer it from the lake, but also as you're traveling down via boat and you're looking at the house,
Mhm.
there is a boat station right there and it's elevated, so it does block a lot of,
Mike, can you pull it up on Encore, perchance, or? There.
Yeah, currently since that picture was taken, that large concrete portion, that like bulkhead
Right there?
along the lake,
Or there.
he
Oh,
took that out and it's only about a foot wide break wall there now. So he took all that concrete pad out of there. That'd be the only difference from.
Stairway staying, I forget, so that stairway is staying or going?
On which side?
Path, the path.
The path is staying there, yeah,
Okay,
and it's accounted for in the coverage.
so the stairs, I mean, it is pretty close now.
Yeah, I mean, the stairway that I was mentioning was internal, and that's
Oh,
why we
right.
need that push to the south. There is just gonna be the same kind of walk down, but it's all gonna be within that same pathway. So what you're seeing, if you're looking at top down, all you're gonna see is
Yeah.
an extension of the.
You can touch it.
It's be an extension of the roof.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so
That's
the
what- so
roof
the front
line
setback's
pulls
still-
it closer, is that what it is?
The roof line will be closer. It's the south little portion of that deck here. That will just probably get about a foot south. It's just this little section. To facilitate a stairwell that's inside the house, won't be visible from the outside.
Mike, were there variances issued before when this was done? You said this was.
There were not any variances before. There, when they originally did the plan, Hanlon Architecture did it, and they were within what was there originally. They were below that. I believe they're still, with what we're proposing, they're still below the lot coverage that they proposed originally.
Okay,
And then some of the planning board comments were some stormwater, so we are working on a small stormwater, like a dry well or a rain garden to be proposed to take on the additional stormwater.
any comments from the neighbor next door or anything like that?
I didn't see.
Thank you.
There were neighbor letters.
We just
There were
scrolled
neighbor
past the
letters?
letter.
I think there were.
What do you think? Pro or con? That's fine.
If it's the one to the south, it's gonna.
What about blocking
views for other neighbors?
I'm not really sure what they do.
I can speak to that because we are the neighbors.
Okay,
of the
there you
site.
go.
Okay,
Yep.
When
Yeah.
hearing's not over.
I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, if you have a question.
I will get, definitely.
Okay.
All right, you guys have any questions, other questions? Neighbor letters? Okay,
No, neighbor letter 1 is a video
No.
of tree workers on the south property, I believe.
okay.
And then the neighbor letter 2 is.
I'm gonna call, you can have a say, I'll
Yeah.
put the accounts to, if you wanna come up and state your name.
Oh, okay.
In essence of time, we're gonna try to keep the comments to 3 minutes.
Well,
per person.
I'm not sure if you guys all had time to read that letter, because we got notification last Monday,
Okay,
and that's when we submitted the letter, and we found out
Gotcha.
for the first time what was going on. So I haven't had time to process a FOIA request, get any information on any of the plans. I did go to the zoning office here and was able to see the plans. And just to clarify, the current outside deck that they have, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand it's gonna be removed. And it's a two-story addition. It's not just putting something above the deck. And that side of the house, the south side of their plan there, is gonna be a blank wall, one window way at the top. So that's in my letter. I don't know if you want me to read that letter to you.
Yeah,
It takes a
I got
long
it.
time.
that's all right, I can read that.
Okay, so if you can read that at your leisure.
Yep.
There's a lot of information in there, a lot of objections that we made. I did provide a lot of photographs. Okay, I'm not sure if you've had time to look at it yet, but I do want to read something else here. And this is much shorter and sweeter. Okay, I guess just to get this out of the way, but I would like to do a show of picture. And you may or may not have seen this, if you look on the files, some of you may have. Some of you may not have. This is our willow tree on our point. Before the construction. This is what they did afterwards. And this is after we got the quote from our tree surgeon to do the work. They went ahead and did it before we could have it done. Okay, it was under the guise of. The owner, and I have an email in this regards, the owner stated that this tree was providing unwanted shade and blocking their view of the lake. Well, what's here now is a boathouse. Okay, so we kind of feel like we were misled. You know, this is what we've been living with since, and now that tree is failing. And we just had our tree surgeon back to look at it, and he's not sure what's going on, but I want to just read this prepared statement. Okay, I'm Chris Farrader. My wife Leslie. Okay, we are immediately to the south of this new owner's property. Okay. The letter itself would indicate all the construction issues that we had. Okay, I'm not gonna take time right now to read that. But our property just to the south, 3546, has been in our family for 33 years, most of that peaceful. I'm just gonna read what I wrote. We are against any more additions of any kind to 3542 Sandy Beach Road, and ask that this board deny the current application in its entirety, regardless of any variances. We understand the board was provided our issues with our owner's original construction and ongoing issues with further modifications to their property. And that's the letter that you see that was presented.
Your time's up.
Well, this is our first notice. We
I
know
know.
nothing about what's going on.
We're
This is only
trying-
a page and a half.
I
Everybody
know,
else has had 15 or 20 minutes to talk. Okay, I would like to be able to read the rest of my one-page
okay,
document.
well, okay, sorry.
All right, if you don't mind.
Just,
I really
yeah,
would like to
just
do
that,
that.
and then we
And
definitely.
then I'll sit down.
What's
Okay?
that?
Then I'll sit down.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Again, modification on the property, especially there are unauthorized damage to and removal of trees on our property. This while leaving a dead tree on their property to this day. Not including their new permanent boathouse, we understand 3542 is already over the land to structure code limit. Any additional use of permeable, environmentally precious land or airspace would put them well over the code. This alone is reason enough to deny the owner's application in its entirety. We have and continue to suffer from owners' major trim and continued tampering of our formerly beautiful willow tree in the picture in order to remove unwanted shade and their block of the view of the lake per the owner's email. But now we know that it was a kind of undisclosed issue regarding removal of our tree for the construction of his boathouse. And by the way, there's a picture when they sold the property next to us, beautiful picture the realtors took of the lake with our beautiful tree. It was a beautiful sales pitch. I'm sure this would sold the house. Now this boathouse blocks a substantial part of our invaluable view of the northern lake. This or any other addition would block virtually all of our northern view and airflow, especially with a solid wall. It appears the owner may have bought a property that is too small for their expansion plans. You only have 50 foot of lake frontage. We all know how valuable lakefront property is in so many ways, but that's only if you can see the lake. Any further encroachment will only serve to further block our view of the lake and probably harm the value of our house. We suggest their current house has plenty of room to accommodate the desire for upstairs bedrooms that would not change their view of the lake, any environmental impact, or be detrimental to us. I, again, be more than happy to provide, we have hundreds of pictures. I know my time is up.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna
Alright.
say, honestly, I read your letter while you were,
I appreciate that.
and we definitely will take, your concerns and I'm, I know you've been in contact with Mike, we are familiar with this neighborhood
Okay.
and,
All right,
it's
the
a
letter has lot more
challenging,
To it, yes.
yeah, and we will definitely,
All right. Just-
take that into
just
consideration, so,
I want to thank the board.
Yep.
For your time. I appreciate the extra consideration you gave us.
absolutely.
I mean, we're just a retired couple trying to
Right.
live out our lives, until our time is up, our little slice of heaven. So
Absolutely.
God willing.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
all
you.
very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
very much, for sure. Okay. Anthony, do you want to come back up and,
You are correct with what he's building.
Yes.
It's a two-story structure.
Thank you.
okay, so it's a two-story
It's a
structure.
two-story structure. It is basically an extension of the roof line. They are flattening the roof line out just a little bit. It won't be the same pitch. It's a little bit more shallow of a pitch. As far as the boathouse, the Batistis, when they did do the boathouse, because of the way the UDML works, they could have pushed that dock out considerably because of how shallow it is there. So they decided to pull it in as close as they could without having to push it out and cause any detriment to the neighborhood. So they are pushed in very close, even 60 feet is what they're allowed, but they are allowed to go out about 100 feet with the way that the UDML works. So they did pull that in to try to appease the neighbors. As far as views and things of that nature, it is staying in the same footprint, more or less, other than that slight expansion to the south. So with the tree line that's there now, the existing arborvitae's, it doesn't really, it's not really affecting the view as much as, the house to the south is pushed out a little bit further as well, so. Those are just.
So that roof line,
It's going
so-
straight out.
But it won't obstruct, it's not gonna obstruct their view more from as a north? Like if they were.
I mean,
to the north?
it would obstruct directly to the north, but not the northerly view to the northeast, if I would say. I mean,
And that would be 4 foot from.
if you look at this is where the house is, it would obstruct the view to this area, but not,
Right, okay.
in general realization.
How are they gonna maintain the property? Being 4 foot off the line,
There's enough room to get a mower around there right now, so. Like I said, it's about a foot closer to the line than what the current deck is.
Is this currently non-conforming?
Yes.
Mhm.
But when they did it originally, they stuck to the original non-conforming.
Correct, and then the original approval was based on also that deck being a patio, so it didn't come into building coverage calcs, but then he redid the patio to a deck, and that was never caught in the zoning office when should have been considered building coverage, so that's kind of where we are with the building coverage. So that was one of the mentions the original one showed just a hard surface patio, and that was rebuilt with permits that he received.
I remember, I think I was on. There's a hot tub or something, so. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. Is that okay?
Sure, come on
I
up to
just
the.
want to show you on the map what I'm referring to.
Is it a question or is it, I mean, if it's a
Gentleman
question,
referred to the view this way.
okay,
Our view was below looking that way.
right?
Okay, so according to the plans, when I saw this deck is one away, it's gonna be bigger this way and this way and this way. And this is like where we sit to eat. So this two-story building, which is now a low deck, the two-story is gonna completely block our view from here. It's gonna be further out here. I just, want to point that out because you've already
Right,
got
we
this
were
blocking
asking
our
that.
entire view from here. This area is gonna be blocked by the wall out here, the two-story wall.
Somebody would think was a little, yeah.
Yeah.
We're a little like a son and hope that we might ever have, so that's what we are.
We appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty. Anybody else in the audience? Anybody online? Anybody on the board? No? Okay. Are you comfortable closing? Yeah. Okay. You know the MO, yeah, there you go. All right. Alrighty, next case. Barclay Damon. Haley Eckman, New Michigan Road, CPN 25-034. Continued use variance requesting use variance from the zoning board of appeals for a proposed ground mounted tier 3 4.95 megawatt AC community solar energy system on approximately 20 acres of a 46.7 acre parcel in the AR2 zoning district. When tier 3 solar energy systems are prohibited use in the AR2 associated with combined special use permit site plan application.
Thank you so much. As you know, my name is Haley Eckler with Dimension Energy. We had the initiation of our public hearing last month on July 15th. We're here to appear again. We do have some updates to provide to the board and a few more, informational items to go through as well. So you guys are familiar with the project summary. This will occupy approximately 25 acres on the 47 acre parcel. This is a 4.95 megawatt AC project, hence the need for a use variance on this parcel. Some of the benefits this project will bring are discounted electric rates for subscribers. I think we've gone over this previously.
Yeah.
There's
There's no, I was gonna say anything.
Yep, we can keep
Anything
Yep,
new.
and just noting here, we're not requesting any action tonight. We would request action at the next meeting.
Okay.
Next slide. please.
Okay, because we did see the information that was provided
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
information.
So we'll go through some of the updates here. I think we can keep going to the next slide here,
Okay.
Mike. No updates here. No updates here. Okay, so here are some updates since our meeting on July 15th. We have received determinations from state and federal agencies on this project, notably the Department of Ag and Markets, a New York State agency, issued a determination letter in support of the project stating the proposed action would not have an unreasonably adverse effect on the continuing viability of farm enterprises within the district or state environmental plans, policies, and objectives. Effectively, New York State DAM has given us the go-ahead on this project. They've also stated that there is sufficient access off the public road for the remaining 22 acres of farmland, and as such, sees no operational concerns for the continued production of the remaining balance of the project parcel. Further, we've also received a no permit required letter from the United States Army Corps of Engineers for the impacts to the man-made swales on site. Next slide, please. In addition, we did receive a lot of public comment, not only at the July 15th meeting, but also on, our quote unquote dockets for the site.
Right.
We filed a robust comment response matrix responding to substantive feedback on August 1st, and we updated that matrix on August 13th to add some additional subject matter expertise into a comment that was missing context, comment 21. We address concerns related to ag activities, related to chemicals, and concerns related to natural resources, all of which we feel are minimal or non-existent for this project. We also filed a response to feedback received from Chairman Soller on the 1st as well. With that, I'm going to turn it to Ari with Barclay Damon.
Okay, good evening, members of the public, members of the board. My name is Ari Goldberg from the law firm of Barclay Damon. I'm the attorney for this project. We've talked about the public utility variance standard before. I thought that it'd be beneficial if we focused more on what you're seeing as the first element right there, that the relief we're seeking from this board, the use variance is, and the solar array itself is a public necessity. And we need the use variance because it's required to render that safe and adequate service. Do you mind scrolling down to the next one? Thank you. So I think we need to talk about need. What is necessity for the purposes of this conversation? So when you look at this room, I've been in it about 15 times now. You look at the walls, the ceilings, the devices in our pockets, the 2 screens that Mike has, plus the computer there, his mouse. They all need electricity. Electricity is required for our modern lifestyle. We need electrical generation, and solar generation provides electricity. Now, you all are the zoning board of appeals. You have zoning powers granted to you under the New York State Constitution, state law, and your town board and your local laws. But your zoning power, unfortunately, it's not limitless. The New York State Constitution prohibits local laws that are, quote, inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution or any general law of New York. That's the Constitution, Article 9, Section 2C. One of New York State's law, one of a newer law, is called the CLCPA, the Climate Leadership and Community Protection. So the CLCPA amended the state's existing environmental conservation law. That's the same law that required your planning board, your colleagues over there, to conduct the State Environmental Quality Review Act, for example. And what this new law, the CLCPA, sets out to do is create really ambitious goals for the state to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions, and that's in order to fight climate change. One of the more specifics within the law that sets forth those reasons is, or how New York State's gonna reduce greenhouse gas emissions, is that customers' electricity needs to come from solar, wind, and other renewable energy systems. So such that by 2030, 70% of the electricity that you all purchase is from renewables, and by 2040, it's 100%. CLCPA, New York State law, in our view, this law confirms that developing renewable energy is needed in New York. Now, almost since the dawn of the electric age, companies have buffered against, brushed up against regulators at all levels of government, federal, state, local, all the way down to here. One of the fights that's most relevant to our conversation today is, how does local zoning impact those who provide electricity? In 1978, for example.
Can I just interject here? I don't think anybody here is going to argue with the need for electricity. We all know about this first variance issue. What about the second one? There's two
compelling reasons, economic or otherwise, why the variance should be granted?
Well, we all,
my understanding was you needed a discussion about necessity of the variance, or necessity of the arrest.
Solar.
Yeah,
4.95
I think I'm getting there.
Megawatt solar panels, not electricity in general.
There's no distinguishing between the two, and I think that's the point I'm making, and if you'd allow me the space to get there, I'm getting there. Let's start in 1978, Consolidated Edison Company v. Hoffman. Mike, do you mind going to the next slide? This court says that Con Edison needs to produce or develop a new cooling tower for its nuclear facility in the village of Buchanan, which is along the Hudson River. They need a variance. The cooling tower is too tall. The ZBA denies it. Con Edison sues them, and it goes all the way up to the Court of Appeals. That's the highest court in New York State. The highest court in New York State interpreted the law of the land to say that companies who provide essential services are unique because of what they give to the community in the form of electricity. That's the state. That's why you have the public utility variance standard. That's what the Con Edison case does. It confirms that nuclear power provides an essential service in the form of electricity. And it confirms that people like who provide nuclear power or provide electricity get a different standard. You look at some of the other cases that I mentioned that have come up over the years. In 1993 and in the early 2000s, as we're building more and more cell towers, the courts of New York State say that telecommunication providers, private companies as well, and new sites that they're constructing receive that same public utility use variance standard. In 2008, wind turbines, which generate electricity, a useful public service, the wind farm is a public utility for purposes of this test. You mind going to the next one, please? Thank you. Now let's get to public necessity about solar. Three very recent cases that I've brought up here. Matter of Free Point Solar against the Town of Athens Zoning Board of Appeals. That's one that's in the courts right now. It's been hotly followed by the industry and nerds like me who are into this development of the law. Free Point says community solar projects like this one, projects less than 5 megawatts or less, are public utilities. The electricity that they provide is a public necessity. Scholars like Patty Salkin, the godmother of zoning in New York State, says electricity is an essential service. Let's keep going, please, Mike. Thank you very much. So the point I'm trying to make is the provision of electricity is a public necessity. You have CLCPA goals. You have state law that says we need renewable energy because climate change is here and we are trying to fight it. It is essential. It is a necessity that we have renewable energy. Can't do that here in the town of Canandaigua for this particular property without the grant of a variance. The grant of the variance is therefore necessary to allow this 4.95 megawatt AC community solar array with a significant agrivoltaic component to be sited on this property. Without that variance that's before you tonight, there's no renewable energy. There's no achievement of CLCPA goals. There's no furtherance of state action against climate change. There's no provision of essential services. Therefore, the variance is a public necessity. Let's go down to the next one. So how do we know this? How do we know that achieving CLCPA goals is a necessity? This is what Freepoint said only about a year ago. The CLCPA solar capacity procurement requirement, that's a lot of words to say those goals of 70% by 2030, 100% by 2040, is a floor, not a ceiling. And the state may therefore set even more ambitious targets to achieve the CLCPA's long-term objectives. The court continues, they really couldn't help themselves. One cannot quarrel with the premise that New York State's goal of transitioning to renewable energy is designed to benefit the public at large, and the project, much like ours before you, is in line with that goal. So to us, there's no debate, cannot quarrel with it, that it's a public necessity. Let's also talk about some of those, that's the first element. Let's talk a little bit about the second element, which Mr. Emery brought up. That's what are the compelling reasons, economic reasons or otherwise, why the variance should be granted. Well, here's what else Consolidated Edison told us in 1978. Where the intrusion or burden on the community is minimal, the showing required by the applicant, that's me and Haley and our team members like Brian who've been here before, our burden to demonstrate the necessity, to demonstrate the compelling reasons is reduced. Haley just mentioned that our agricultural impact has been commented on by New York State Agri Markets. They said no unreasonable interference with agricultural production. We've also presented to this board before. Caleb Scott's been here. I think he's done it on the phone as well. We presented it to the Ag Advisory Committee as well, that this project has a significant agricultural component still within it. We're replacing single crop agriculture on the land with livestock raising. We've got that robust landscape package as well. We've got private investment into utility infrastructure. That's the only way this day and age that ratepayers like you and me can ever save money on their electric bills. Because you know that National Grid or RG&E or NYSEG is just going to pass it right down to you.
I'm sorry, I mean, we've seen this. I feel like didn't we get this information before as a repeat? I'm not trying to shut you down. I just want, we've heard this. We're looking for new information. Yeah, I mean, we don't need another.
Okay, good to know that it's been understood that it's a necessity then.
Well,
I think we should also note that the planning board took action last time then. This is my last slide on this too. Almost was there. The negative declaration that the planning board granted about a month ago under seeker, that says that the project will not have significant adverse environmental impact. The word environment under seeker is defined pretty broadly. It's not just trees, flora, fauna, it's things like traffic, viewshed, impact on agriculture, consistency with community plans. Your planning board as a lead agency took a hard look at the project and made a determination that there's no significant adverse environmental impact. And the reason I may be redundant, and I apologize for that, but the reason I'm bringing it back up is because that's some of the other compelling reasons to grant the variance or why the variance is required here. So we've gone over necessity. Do you mind going to the next one? There it is. Those are the standards again. We've gone over the necessity. I gave that little history lesson, tried to keep everyone awake, and then we tied it back into some other compelling reasons, which included the updates that Haley provided earlier. So that's me taking the new information that happened since our last time and just spitting it back into the two factors before you to make sure it's understood. And with that, I'll take any questions from the board and the public.
Anybody have anything?
Nope.
Anybody from?
The public hearing is still open, is that right?
Oh, sorry, what's that?
New comments.
Yeah, new comments. Anybody have any new comments on this? It has to be new. Do you have, all right, and we're limiting the time frame. So
No, it's, you can,
come on up.
no,
and-
just
That's
people
right.
who haven't gone before.
Right.
I do have new comments to my last.
come up again with your comment?
Only if, all right, so come up and we'll get to that in a second. Come up and state your name. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm Brian Hobson.
Okay.
In March, I purchased the property directly across the street from this proposed complex. Prior to making my purchase, I called the town on more than one occasion and inquired about the zoning laws. Not because I was considering this moving in, but because I want to make sure that I had a place where I could build my house and my farm. Also want to make sure there wouldn't be a housing development on either side of me. Multiple times I was told the town would not allow other than ag or rural housing in the area. I was given the definition of AR2 land. This district is to encourage a proper environment, foster normal agricultural operations and land uses, maintain an open rural character, and to protect viable agricultural soils and areas and conserve the natural resources. 20 days after my check cleared the bank, the proposal for the solar field happened. I found out about the same when most of us did. A neighbor stopped by and told me. That day I stopped preparation for the house and the farm. I asked my realtor to sell the property. She told me that I would have to disclose that the solar field was going in across the street from me. And I probably wouldn't be able to sell the property. And I'd be looking at losing about half my investment if I did. After a lot of deliberation and optimistic about what this board is going to do, I have restarted the process of building, jumping through all the hoops to put a farm on ag lands, which is surprisingly difficult. I cleared all the boards leading up to the planning board at the end of this month, hired engineers, builders, made down payments, spent thousands on custom plans. And if this project goes through, there's going to be a for sale sign. So aside from me, because I'm pretty sure nobody cares about my situation, I think the real farmers in this room that spent their lives, their blood, sweat, tears on this land with a promise from their town, they should have that promise honored. Also think it behoove the town to check on some of the claims that these guys have made. Probably one of the more laughable ones, a group of farmers in the ag advisory meeting were told that sheep can get all the water they need from the grass. Fresh water isn't necessary for them. That's not true. I've seen the drawings of the orchard proposed for the site. I'm sure every solar field proposes vegetation that will shield the site from the rest of us having to look at it. But has anyone ever seen one of these sites where the vegetation was maintained or shielded anything? And then are there repercussions for not following through with the lipstick on their pig? Probably not. Also, at this meeting last month, Dan presented the selection process that allowed them to arrive at this property. I heard, I guess. He said the two properties in the industrial zone ruled out because one parcel is irregularly shaped, heavily forested, and the other is owned by the town. The 29.4 acre lot is not owned by the town, it's owned by a local business. It's Farmhood. It's a Farnsworth's. It's the right size, almost exactly the same size as what they're proposing. It's a perfect rectangle and it's clear. His other issue was it was next to the airport. He said this is a problem for solar, needing FAA clearance to make it happen, generally frowned upon, generally not allowed due to glare issues from incoming and departing flights.
I'm sorry, sir. We've already heard those points, just to let you know. We definitely want, new information, not to reiterate the stuff that we.
Okay, I didn't realize you.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of commentary last month.
And you're aware that the previous regulations, the 2 mile strip prior to the airport was the issue. They are 1.9 miles.
Yeah, I believe we have all that. don't we?
They're directly
Yeah,
between
'cause-
two airports. Canandaigua receiving some serious air traffic from larger airplanes.
Right.
I mean, these planes come in right directly over the top of that.
Yeah, we've actually had some discussion with them on that as well, so we are very much aware.
They provided feedback in mind.
Okay. My point on that was the area inside the industrial zone isn't ruled out as a result of the FAA.
Right. Well, and they have the option to looking if they have another, you know, if there's other areas out there. I mean, that's nothing, we're not here to propose solutions, we're just voting on the case.
Right. So the company's got a lesser standard to follow than the rules of anybody else in the town, even the poor lady that's trying to put her shed in from last month. But anyway, I think the board for the past 2 months has been given some compelling reasons: economic, public safety, complete disregard for the spirit of its own zoning laws in the ag district. And that makes it more feasible to require them to seek an alternative location more suited for their industrial nature.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. for your comment.
Sir, did you want to submit that for the record?
Yeah, did you submit anything to us with that regard? We'd be happy to. Yeah, that way we can upload it. Okay. Okay, so unless it's completely new information and we're really gonna keep it at a very minimum, you're welcome to come up and give us your details.
Tim Stryker, Vice Chair of the Ag Committee. Again, I just wanted to say, yeah, I didn't realize some FAA information was discussed, but I'll try to be brief. I have a safety concern with the project proposals proximity to the airport, and I would like the members of the ZBA to receive an FAA safety study directly from the FAA. Firsthand information, not secondhand, just for clarification. I believe it would also be beneficial to hear concerns from any Canandaigua Airport personnel about this proposed project. And I believe municipality safety study may also be needed as well. I have another concern about liability. God forbid, but if an aviation accident were to occur due to solar panel glare affecting a pilot's vision, who can be held liable for that accident? Should the town be concerned about?
Yes, those things are, yeah, that's not necessarily our purviews, but we have had that discussion already, so.
Okay. So
Has
all right.
been noted.
Yeah, I'll just,
Yeah, if you have comments and stuff you want to submit, you can always.
I do have,
Also-
I do have this letter that I submitted electronically. There are some other
Okay.
points in here.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to reiterate that if it was true that that the solar company can't construct panels in the industrial zone, I just would be very confused why they'd be able to construct it on New Michigan Road, meaning if the FAA were giving them a hard time, I'd be really confused why they can't build in the industrial zone, but yet they could on New Michigan Road. You've already been over that already.
Tim, you've already heard the applicant said there isn't going to be a vote tonight.
Oh, understood.
So
Okay.
there is time for you to submit anything else that you'd like to.
Anything extra? Okay, all right. All right. I appreciate your time and.
No, I understand.
I apologize.
And I know you want to get your opinion across.
And this being such a complex proposal, I just want to make sure there's enough time to make sure there isn't a single point left undiscussed, especially safety concerns.
Thank you for your input, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so.
Hi, Melinda Kinnear, we Road.
Melinda.
I've been here before. There was 2 points. 2 days ago, the USDA announced they were no longer supporting solar panels for solar projects on farmland. And 2, in the paper, it's been discussed that the electric infrastructure in our county is not adequate. Putting more power on the grid is not going to help that infrastructure. Just want to make those 2 comments.
Thank you.
Do you have anything on the USDA?
I was trying to
That was
find this
just
Twitter.
today.
I got it.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't.
It
Chloe,
sounds like it's
appreciate
something.
Yeah.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
I do have stuff on
Okay,
what came out yesterday in regards to Secretary Rollins, in regards to what the government, the USDA has done in regards to the loss of prime farmland across this country in a whole. It is quite extensive. I'm not going to read it tonight. But you, as the board, with all due respect, need to read that there is a problem with the loss of prime farmland to solar. And it is in that it has been seen by our government and Secretary Rollins. So just please read this. Also in regards to the USDA, in regards to investors with agricultural land holdings. And that means anybody that has an investment in the solar company foreign needs to report that, or there are some fines in regards to this other pamphlet from the USDA. So with that being said, good evening. My name is Mark Strecker, and my family owns and operates a farm here in Canandaigua. My wife and I moved here in 1991. And just to give you a little bit of history about me, myself, I have 20 years of experience as being on the Board of Assessment Review for the town of Canandaigua. I retired last year from that after 20 years. I'm also the past chairman for the Agricultural Committee for the town of Canandaigua. My family made a decision years ago to protect our farmland. Along with other farmers in the area, we decided that in the long run, our families would be rewarded more by keeping prime farmland in the state of New York rather than selling it for development. We made a commitment to the town, Ontario County, New York State to protect and be good stewards of the land that we cannot replace. The town's comprehensive plan was drawn up by Canandaigua residents with the intention of preserving this valuable and non-replaceable farmland. Also in the plan, there were specific areas that were drawn up for future development sites like housing, subdivisions, industrial, etc. And as I stand here and look at it today, that's where the solar should go. There are no words to express how the loss of this farmland will impact agriculture and the farm families that are the backbone of agriculture. Not
sorry,
only,
I don't want to interrupt you. Do you have some like more, we actually heard you from last time and we.
well, not me, I've never
I
spoken.
thought he wasn't here.
No,
That was this.
Okay,
no,
well,
first time.
first, I'm sorry, I'll give you
First
30
another 30
seconds back.
seconds.
I'll give you
No,
another 30
I'm gonna
seconds.
take-
Okay.
I'm
I'll put
gonna,
another 15 on for you.
All right, there you go.
That's
Thank
somebody
you.
in-
But yeah, if you could definitely give us some.
there are no
some
words
supporting
to
information,
express how
great.
the loss of this prime farmland will impact agriculture and the farm families that are backbone of agriculture, not only in the town of Canandaigua, Ontario County, New York State, and the country that we live in. Farmers are in it for the long haul. They have made a life commitment to this lifestyle. For all the reasons that have been voiced to this Board of Appeals regarding the opposition to the location of this solar project, I stand behind them 100%. Now, take and set aside all the noise in this from both sides. And with all due respect and sincerity to this board, it is not the responsibility, the zoning board of appeals is not responsible for the property owner's ability to pay or not be able to pay their taxes. The zoning board of appeals is not responsible for the electric grid or its shortcomings regarding new development in the town of Canandaigua.
The zoning board is responsible for keeping intact the town of Canandaigua's comprehensive plan protecting and preserving agricultural prime land, period. I ask that you let the farmland stay farmland so that it remains in productivity that is best handled by farmers who know it best. Our talking points are the two from the USDA and Secretary Rollins. The zoning board of appeals charter is to make sure that all residents of the town of Canandaigua, that their rights are protected regarding zoning. Even the property owners where the solar project is proposed, they may not like the decision of having this project denied, but in the long run, you're still protecting the rights by denying the use of this property for a solar array. It would be in the best interest of all those involved to find a location within the town's industrial development area where this project should be. I ask that the solar company work with the town and the owners of the property within the industrial development area to accomplish this. With all sincerity, thank you.
Thank
you.
Thanks.
And these are the two things that you're gonna wanna review.
Now you got it.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yep, that's all that.
Alrighty. Oh. No, that's right. Okay. Anybody else?
Right.
Oh,
I think from now on, we're gonna stick to the 3 minutes
Yeah.
exclusively. The 3 minutes when the alarm
We'll be
goes
here
off,
until
speakers are gonna have to
otherwise.
stop speech.
Hi, my name is Samantha Stryker. I come for you today as a second generation farmer and as the chair of our town's agricultural advisory committee. I joined this committee because I wanted to promote local agriculture and assure farmers had a strong voice in town decisions. Within just 6 months of serving as a member, I was voted chair because of my passion and drive to protect farmland. The agricultural land within this town is truly prime. Our soils are unmatched. Ask any farmer, north, south, east, or west of the town, they will all tell you the same thing. This land is exceptional and irreplaceable. As chair, I see firsthand the projects that affect agriculture, whether they take place within an agricultural zone or within 500 feet of active farmland. I've witnessed the success of our committee, but I've also seen our limitations. Each year, the amount of viable farmland in this town decreases. Active farmland is being lost to developments and solar fields. Here's the truth. You cannot recreate prime farmland. Once it's gone forever. And once it's gone, you will realize what you've lost. I stand before you not only as the chair of the Ag Committee, but also as the daughter of a first-generation farmer and a sister to a second-generation farmer who will take our farm, hopefully, to a third, fourth, or fifth generation. But that future is only possible if we protect the land that sustains us. I urge you to say no to this proposed solar project. Think of your children's future. What will be left for them if we allow our prime farmland to be developed? Because once you say yes to this project, more will follow and our family farms will cease to exist. Saying no today is saying yes to future generations. Please help us preserve our farmland. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kim Brosbank. My husband and son farm this piece of property. I just want to reiterate what Mark Stryker said about we're another family that put our land into a PBR. Because we felt so strongly about agriculture and handing it down to our children and grandchildren. And it lowered the value of our farm. But that's important to us, but to see this happen right next to our land is going to be very hard. In 2007, the town of Canandaigua allowed, after very much dissension, I don't know if you remember it, the state used eminent domain to close Thomas Road. which then, because they did that, they acquired two farmers, not our farmland, but two other farmers' land to expand the airport. So they've already done something, the state has already done something to take away farmland from the northern part of our town. And so my question is the same as theirs, is why don't we use that land? And I know that it was said that there's not the availability to put it on the airport. But I just flew out of Denver, Colorado, and there's all kinds of solar panels. They have 140 acres at their airport. So there's, the FFA really needs to be able to tell you whether or not it's viable there. Because to me, that would be, I'm not against solar, but I'm against it on viable farmland. And I just want to reiterate that. Thank you. Also, one other thing. I looked up solar panels in upstate New York, the efficiency range. Do you know what that is?
It's 163 days of solid sunshine.
15 to 22% efficiency. So you just gotta
Yeah, we
think
were just
about
talking
that.
about that. Thank you. Your point exactly. Anybody? All right,
Joan Taylor, the owner of the property.
I don't.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm not against farmers. I don't want anybody here to think I'm against farmers. This is private land. I'm not a farmer. I just want a fair price for my land, and I'm not getting it. Everybody's getting rich off of my property. What are these farmers gonna do when they have something happen in their family where there's death or divorce or sickness, and they want to sell their land? Are you just gonna let it? You know? I can hear all this stuff. Oh, the poor farmers, the poor farmers. What about the poor land people? You gotta support them too.
All right. So. All right. Anybody else online have any comments? You can come up and- I think we're all set. So it's my understanding we're continuing it for,
Yes, because there's only 4 members here, we'd like to postpone it to,
Okay.
I think the chairs.
okay, so that was why I called you back up. I appreciate it. And-
Next public hearing, it'll be only people who haven't spoken, I think is that what
Yes.
the board's intention was.
That was, yeah.
If I could, I might offer that anyone can always submit written comments. We've been pretty good about responding to them, and
Yes.
we're checking cloud permit pretty regularly.
Okay, yeah, anybody have any comments that they want to submit, feel free to submit them and they can upload them to Cloud Commit.
And I think, the town, development office sent the applicants' responses to most of this group, is that correct? Does everyone have the responses? No.
Okay.
Mike, can you make sure, can you guys get in touch with Mike Warner tomorrow? And he'll make sure you get a copy of the responses.
Make sure y'all email them at the same exact time or
And
call.
Warner at townofcamden.org.
Because he appreciates that so much, right?
He was private.
All right, well, thank you. We're gonna push that. That'll be continued for next month. Okay, now we have one, what do we
I'm gonna
have?
give people time to leave if they'd like.
Oh, yeah, if everybody wants to exit, they can go.
It'll be the 3rd Tuesday of September.
Third Tuesday of September, what is that date?
I thought you were bringing
Me too.
pizza.
I was waiting for pizza.
All right, then bring it.
No, I don't know. Someone said something about pizza. All right, let me look. What day? September 16th. All righty. We'll give it a brief second. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. Oops, sorry.
I didn't want to tell you a full one because I thought you meant not to.
What's that you want?
I didn't give you a full one. I thought you were gonna not.
I need a little. Oh, so long.
Procedural.
Yes.
Close this hearing and still have it be continued.
Yeah, you could have, but we didn't think so. Didn't. I was gonna show that slide, but then I think they're entitled to submit responses. Thank you, folks. Mr. Stryker would like to get more written stuff.
That's
And
fine.
That's why I didn't, but yeah, I was gonna show you that note. You just said. But I think saying no new people or open.
Yeah, well, that's what I was,
Try.
I tried.
You would have
Anyway.
been a lot meaner to.
Yeah, I know, I was,
Not in your nature. Okay.
oh yeah, I could, it lasts for a
They will
while.
do it.
Anyway, on to the next one. Here we are.
Yeah, where are you gonna start? 1978?
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah, you probably, it starts before 1978, guys.
61.
Yeah,
What?
that was a joke. We're not gonna do that.
Anyway, yeah,
Well,
let's get,
I believe based on the agenda that the two complaints that are on the agenda, one was filed on April 13th of 2025 and one was filed on April 19th of 2025. So we're not going too deep in the back to the Cenozoic era. So,
all right. So I'm gonna announce this one. This is 4744 County Road 16 CPN 2025-062. Continued interpretation, applicant Bruce Hankin is appealing the results of complaint case 2025-014. The complaint claimed that there was an operation consistent with town code definition of construction company, contractor storage yard on the subject property. Case was investigated by CEO and closed, citing no evidence of violation. You want to lump in the other one?
Number 8.
Okay. Yeah, and number 8, it's CPN 2025-064. Continued interpretation, applicant Marion Casey is appealing the result of the complaint case 2025-013. The complaint claimed there were activities constituting a major home occupation on the subject property. Case was investigated by CEO and closed, citing no evidence of violation. All right. So,
You guys wanna make any comments, statements?
hello, my name is Dan O'Brien. I'm an attorney with the firm of Exovia Gilman in Rochester. and
Excuse me, I cannot hear. Yeah.
oh, is it on?
Can you hear me?
I don't hear it. You can hear it? All right. Maybe lift it a little bit.
I think it's on.
All right. Can you hear that now?
I'll do my best.
All right.
Yes, this involves property at 4744 County Road 16. And there are two complaints, one filed by Mary Cassie and one by Bruce Hankin. The complaint filed by Marion Cassie involves a major home occupation, which we believe may be the avenue under which the operations are being conducted there. And there was also the complaint by Bruce, which was operating a construction company / contractor storage yard without a special use permit. Ultimately, Bruce did finally receive an email from the town manager saying, after meeting with the relevant town staff this week and reviewing your complaint, I am providing you with the following response to your complaint of 4744 County Road 16, being operated as a contractor storage yard. Per the town code, this parcel does not fall within the definition of contractor storage yard. Ignoring, of course, the fact that there was a complaint that it was a contractor storage yard / construction company, and those definitions are found in section
1-17.
1-17 and 1 dash.
It's all the same, it's all the definitions.
All the definitions. Construction company is any business related to the construction trade, including but not limited to paving companies, concrete companies, sand and gravel companies, topsoil companies, bricklayers, on-site wastewater treatment installation companies, well drillers, installation and build companies, and similar businesses where machinery, equipment, supplies, and materials are stored and maintained or installed or installed at another location. Pictures have been submitted, numerous pictures have been submitted, which show heavy equipment being stored on the property. Which show.
We've been, this is really a repetition of what we went through last meeting, correct?
Okay, well, this was a discussion, and I guess.
It was not just a discussion because you did submit the pictures and what.
The pictures worse.
Well, this is an appeal now, correct? From the determination of the.
Correct.
Of the town.
Correct.
And so what we're basically saying is that, again, this may be a situation where if they don't see it themselves, then it's not deemed a violation. But I believe the advice was from council at the last meeting that the fact that these are pictures taken by residents and not taken by town employees or observed by town employees does not mean that that information on those images are not probative and admissible. And
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
okay,
What I'm trying, my point is that.
This is a continuation. This is supposed to be new information.
okay, then I won't belabor the point.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. All right,
The last attorney said in response to that same comment, okay, starting in 1978.
yeah, right. No kidding. Okay. So. Basically, I mean, so there's no new information or evidence, right? I mean, what are?
No, so on this one, you know, the complaints allege specific uses. As we've discussed on interpretations and under town law, Article 16, the zoning board has the charge to render the decision you think ought to have been made by the enforcing official. In this case, it was Mike Murphy, the code enforcement officer. So either there was a violation or there wasn't. He determined that there wasn't on both of these complaints. The way I would prefer that you evaluate whether there was a violation or there wasn't is to take Town Code 220-14B, which are the permitted uses in the RR3 zoning district. Here, I think number 2, maybe one single family dwelling per lot. That's the use of this parcel. That's the approved use. That's the actual use of this parcel. If there is a use that isn't that, or one of the other items on this, that would be a violation. Now, Marion and Bruce phrased that as, here's a use, this is the use we think that it is.
Can I just ask a question? Is your ultimate goal here to find this a violation for a cease and desist of the entire business? Are you looking for fines? What is the objective here from the perspective of?
if you want to know my opinion, it's cease and desist, because there's no way that it could, I mean, that if you require the planning board to approve it, a major home occupation has to be owned by the person who owns the
Right.
property, and there's so many
Hang
things.
on, we're getting a little off track.
Right.
Not that you have the right to speak when we open up hearing that, I think you should, but. The question is, do you have a different interpretation of the facts than the code enforcement official who rendered the determination? Is there a violation of town code of the permitted use of this parcel? Now, the shorthand for that, the way I would say this, is their business operating with a contractor storage yard or a major home occupation. That's an operation of a business, not that business take, you can be an accountant and work from home. That's not a business until certain factors take place. Are the customers coming? Are there trucks being stored? Are there employees showing up for work, that kind of thing. So that's the question, that's the issue before you. Is there a violation of town code?
Well, the question is there enough evidence to present?
Yes,
Uh,
that's what everybody said.
Yes.
that we could do a cease and desist on somebody else's business? And if there's any other determination, any other evidence to present to us, that we could make that determination, I guess. That it is to me, that way, but.
Well, if I may, the complaint says that the activities that are taking place here, not just intermittently, but consistently. Perhaps there are times when they go out there and there's not a piece of heavy equipment there, but enough times and consistently enough that it's fair to characterize these businesses as, for example, a construction company contractor yard. If that's the case, then it's not a permitted use. And it may be something that's possible theoretically as a specially permitted use. But under section 220-62B, no special use permit for a construction company / contractor storage yard may be permitted where there is a dwelling unit on the subject property. And there's a dwelling unit on the subject property. So if you don't qualify because it's not a permitted use and you don't qualify for a special permit, then our position is that activity constituting as it does a construction company / contractor storage yard must cease. Those activities cannot take place.
Let them open a public hearing.
You know, to open.
It already is
Well-
open, right?
Well,
No,
for this.
well, for this evening. Did you want to, belabor the evidence? I mean, we got pictures. Do you want to go through them? I know that we're time crunched, but is there a highlight
Anything new?
really you want to hit for the board? Business card?
Well,
You've got a lot of photos. Are there some highlights you want to
New York
highlight?
State Incorporation.
Well, there's a New York State Incorporation where this is the address of the business. There's advertisements of the business using this address. There are pictures of construction vehicles. There are pictures of under contractor storage yards, there are pictures of topsoil. There are pictures of milling, highway milling. There are pictures of gravel. There are
We have all the photos.
and all the photos are there. And again, if you look at the definition, it fits precisely within the definition of a contractor storage yard.
In addition to that, one of the town board members, Dave Souter, he drives his bicycle by.
All right, hang on just a minute. Maybe now open the public.
Right, public hearing,
Control.
at a time.
All right.
No,
Hold on, wait a second, Karen.
Excuse me,
No, Karen.
Karen, wait a minute.
Hang on. We're-
but he's got the wrong information.
Well,
Hang on,
that's right. We'll get
public
to that.
hearing.
We'll get to that for sure. All right, so
Marion goes first, because she.
I mean,
wanted to speak.
whomever.
You raised your hand before anybody else.
do you want to come up and say a few words either?
I just didn't want you to forget that he applied, I think it was March, it's in the documentation, for to be incorporated in New York State as a limited liability corporation at that site. So it's definitely a business that's there. And-
Well, I mean, you can have a business listed, but not necessarily activity related to the business. I mean, like.
Well, I think you've seen the pictures from,
Right.
Right.
Got to come to the podium
I
or
know.
you're not going to talk.
But also this isn't new information. so-
it's not new information.
Right, that's,
There are pictures from, what month was it? It was the 13th and the 14th of May.
yeah. We saw.
13th and 14th of May, where there were probably a total of 10 construction vehicles there, 2 flatbeds, 3 or 4 backhoes, several of which were on the flatbeds, a couple of trucks,
April
dump
14th.
trucks. They were there at 7 o'clock at night. They were also there at 8:07. I can't remember the numbers now. It was.
We saw
Yeah, this is all.
Yeah, we
It's-
saw
have it all.
it's-
Thank you.
It's repeating. So, I mean, it was there. They had to have seen it.
Okay.
All right.
Bruce, I think you were next.
And then we'll go over to, alright,
So this is some more information from the last 2 months. I have pictures to provide you with if you'd like.
okay. Is it
No,
new?
no,
or-
unless it's new.
that's another case.
Oh, wait, this
We
is,
have a snapshot in time for the code enforcement, you're on an interpretation, an appeal of the code enforcement officer.
But the point is that it continues to go on.
so this isn't from, wait, alright, now, is it allowable, like first?
You can submit anything you'd like, but
Right.
what will be considered is
The
the
interpretation.
decision of the code enforcement officer. I don't know the date off the top of my head.
You're welcome to give us the.
And I will. In addition to that, your own town board member, Dave Souter, who drives his bicycle by every Sunday, will attest to the fact.
He already did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm repeating that. I'm sorry.
DOT, you got a DOT license for this address too. Or.
Yeah, right.
You're not. Medical department. Let me hand this in to you.
Well,
Here, I'll take it.
Alright,
Anybody that's talking, it has to be at the podium. That's
there you
all.
go.
I know you've got the documents. There are pictures of working heavy equipment with floodlights at night. It's not occasional, it's not intermittent. Except when perhaps they're up on the crossroad.
Wells Curtis.
Wells Curtis Road. But it is persistent. And no, we can't take pictures every day. Sometimes it's intimidating to do so, but the fact is that I think that the record is pretty replete with examples of heavy equipment and piles of construction and other materials on the property.
thank you.
Karen,
Right.
yes, has asked to speak.
You guys.
Karen, you're up.
Karen, come over.
I didn't hear a word you said.
I'm sorry.
I
First
said,
of all,
Karen, you're up.
thank you. I heard you. First of all, there's two properties there. One, which is a gravel pit. And yes, there are millings, there's gravel, there's dirt. There's all the things that belong in a gravel pit, in the gravel pit. And it's been a gravel pit for well over 100 years. Many years, and it's grandfathered in there as a gravel pit. It has recently been okayed by the DEC as a gravel pit. Secondly, I have to tell you that there are people in this town who are not wealthy, who have to work for a living, and sometimes have to carry their equipment with them. So Zachary does that. He drives his truck, his work truck, to and from home. Thirdly, none of that stuff is visible from the road because that piece of property has no road frontage. So those pictures are all taken on private property, off of the road. You can see it from the road, but it's not road frontage. The last thing is, we did this 2 years ago, folks. Code enforcement officer has been out there a couple of times, looked at it. He decides whether it meets code or not. Is that right? That's my interpretation of what he does. If he's wrong, fire him and get someone who knows what they're doing. If he's right, support what he does. I'm getting old. I don't want to keep doing this. Marion, you really need to get a better hobby.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I would just like to say that all of the.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Pat Brewer.
After,
All the construction equipment is now gone. The place looks very nice. Thank you, Zach. We just don't want it to come back. To your point, Mr. Emery, I don't want them fined. I don't believe that that's appropriate. I just don't want the equipment to come back. Right now, it's at his grandfather's house. Fine, but we just don't want it to come again. So the citation for what was there is all we want, so it doesn't come back. Thank you.
All right. With that said,
I think this gentleman wanted to speak.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Kevin Perrin. All your guys' stuff you guys do is bull crap.
Wait,
Yeah,
address us,
that's it.
okay, so don't address anybody else.
What my dad did for them and stuff. And for the equipment on his property. The equipment was only there for 24 hours, and he's allowed to have it there for 24 hours. And then it has to come off. That's what the code enforcer said. So that's what he did. And then there's pictures on that with a John Deere, the Ellis Charmer. He's going right there. Only way you get that is going on somebody's property.
All right, guys, we're not arguing.
Do it, but I'm
We're
just
not.
saying,
So you.
Right. You're good.
I'm just saying, that's the only way you get to that property. You got that backhoe with a tree going up to it. That's a 69 John Deere backhoe, 400. That's been there for years. And that's not on his property. On 4744, that's 4746. So. What they're talking about, and then you had pictures of this, a pickup truck. That's allowed to have be there. That's it. Got a 4-wheeler, a lawnmower. There's his pickup truck. That's been down there for months. It's broken, he's afraid to work on it because somebody might take a picture of him trying to fix it. That's his vehicle that he drives daily, supposed to be driving daily.
Wait, I'm sorry. You live here?
Kevin.
I'm Russ's son.
I don't know.
Okay.
I stopped.
Oh, okay, I was wondering.
That's my son Zachary's pickup truck,
Gotcha.
but he's afraid to work on it. And there's other vehicles there that are his too.
Right.
So,
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
May I, one last,
Sure, you can come.
so this is the picture. It was taken, and this is not on the gravel pit. It's a pile of asphalt millings, okay? This is not from their gravel pit, this is ground up macadam, okay? And they sell it. It's for sale. So this is a business that they operate here. It's not just storing your pickup truck or having an old tractor. There's active, advertised business taking place on that property, and that's what we're complaining about.
Well, can I say something? Sure, come on up to the podium.
How you doing? I'm Zachary Perrin.
Nice.
There many times have I seen them out there taking pictures of me, and I've asked them if there's something wrong, or if we have to stop taking pictures, there's nothing wrong. And they tell me that there's nothing wrong, and they continue on, and then they take pictures. And then, obviously there's a problem, if there's a problem, let's, come to a solution, instead of, being a little 5-year-old about this, thing and saying there's no problem about it. So, and there's no reason why I can't put asphalt millings in my driveway and repair my driveway with millings. There's nothing that says that, I can't do or repair my own driveway. And that's, that's pictures of it. You had some millings and I used them to bring home to repair my driveway because I put a water line in and the water line settled down the driveway and needed to repair it. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on up, sir.
This is not one or 2 day problem. Touch ball, 4747 Summer Wind Drive. We're directly across the street. It's been going on for 2 years. I'm in the construction business. I understand the right to get a living, to make a living. Zach's a hardworking guy. I pointed out to you a long time ago. Sometimes it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock at night. We have to put up with the noise. There's big dump trucks that pull in and out of there, not recently, but within the last 2 months. The millings are advertised on his website for sale. He may use some for his own personal consumption, but he's got a website that says, I got a gravel business, I got backhoes, I got bobcats, I'm in business, hire me. They moved everything up to Wells Curtis Road, that's fine. I'm glad I'm not one of the neighbors up there, maybe there's enough parents that they don't care. But it's a mess up there too. I think it's absurd to think that this is a one-time situation. This has been ongoing for a long, long time. The town has not enforced it. Marion Cassie has photos of that Monday morning at 8 o'clock, 30 minutes after the building inspector said he was there, that there was no problem. We got photographs of all the equipment in that front yard. Those pictures can be taken from a right of way. Anybody doesn't like it. If we get a commitment from the parents tonight to keep all their stuff up on Wells Curtis Road, cease and desist operations at their current residence, we'd be very happy. We'll go away and be happy. If they're willing to state that tonight.
Excuse me, sir, address us, please, and address us. Do not talk to the people in the
Okay.
audience, okay?
All right,
Do you have anything else to add or no?
that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are we, everybody done? Okay.
Excuse me.
Sure. 1 second, Karen, let me just, are you gonna bring something new to the discussion or?
I may.
This is
For
my,
you to decide.
Well,
Well, let me ask you a question. Karen's.
Kelly,
Well,
what I have to say might make a difference.
okay, all right, Karen, come up real quick. We'll have you come
And
up.
it is quick. The driveway to the road from that property
Mhm.
is the driveway to the gravel pit.
Right.
Which is a separate parcel.
Okay.
There is no road access to the property that is cited in this complaint. No road access. The old Westlake Road goes off of the driveway to the gravel pit.
Okay.
So he's not parked on the driveway ever.
I don't know if that's assisted, but, all right, and this is it. We'll wrap it up right after this.
Okay.
Okay,
Karen alleges that there's a DEC permit.
what's
I
that?
believe that's what she said.
I'm
The
sorry.
gravel pit.
Yeah,
There is none.
did you, I think you did make a comment about, well, there is actually a grandfather, it is a grandfathered permit, or, there is a grandfathered gravel.
It is not.
I thought that we had. didn't we
It
have
doesn't
a
matter,
grandfathered-
it's not what's.
It's not our
being
purview
right now.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. it's-
Okay, so, yeah, so
To
just,
to Jason's point, I think it's subject for another complaint, which has
Probably.
been filed. Chris Nadler has it, but I understand you don't want that on the agenda
Right.
tonight.
we're voting on whether to uphold the decision that was made.
It seems to me that the volume of photographs submitted is absolutely overwhelming. How can it not be compelling? Many different points in time, taken by many different people. No trespass was involved. Telephoto lenses make it pretty easy to make a nice quality photograph from a distance. As was mentioned earlier, we've been going through this for actually almost 3 years now. 2 years ago, there was a complaint filed. Obviously, the town did not move on the situation, and we're back on the soup again. A cease and desist in a friendly way can get this behind us. We're not gonna visit this again, but without that decision, this is just gonna go on. It's gonna be revisited, and we're gonna end up litigating, and it's not what anybody wants here.
Well, and that's not what we want either. However, pictures do speak 1,000 words, but we do not, every time we've gone, we have not seen anything.
You don't have to be there with the law.
Well, we're here to listen to new information. And I believe we're done, right? Everybody, okay, all right, so with that said, we're gonna officially close the meeting and deliberate on all the cases that we have heard before us tonight.
But that's closing the public hearing.
Yes, we're closing the public hearing. There's no more comments from the audience, okay? You're welcome to stick around and listen to the other cases. And we'll get this thing wrapped up. Okay.
Kelly, is there any way you can do ours first so that we can leave? Would that be possible?
No.
Is there anybody else here from any of the
No,
other?
let's see. Do we have anybody online
We
or?
can do that, can we?
Isn't that the end of the agenda?
Yeah, if we don't have anybody online waiting for anything.
Deliberating vote, so that seems reasonable.
Okay, so I guess we'll call it then, right? Or no, we want to talk.
Well, I mean, I don't see how you can do a cease and desist on any friendly manner. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if you, all this energy would somehow communicate back and forth and you guys could come up with some type of accommodation that would work for everybody. I don't know how that happens but I don't see, I mean, I feel exactly, I'm talking I'm talking to this camera. The reality is, to me, I am, unless I hear otherwise, I'm gonna back the code enforcement officer. And that's my opinion.
Well, and Shannon, you said you were there.
I was there Sunday, purposely drove out. This is my second time driving out there.
Well, and
There's to the point of the code, there is a single family residence, had a 4-wheeler in the driveway, and that was it.
I do want to be clear, your decision is going to be based on the
Right.
facts in existence at the time of.
Absolutely.
At the time
that
of
code
what
enforcement
the-
officer.
But have gone,
But it-
Jason, do you have any?
No, so I just, so that's what we're voting on really is whether the code enforcement officer witnessed what he witnessed and the pictures what he found. Yep. At the time.
And that's what we're here for. All right, so do we have to call it?
Yeah, we take a vote on whether or not,
Now, are we doing these together or separate?
let's vote them separate.
Okay,
Don't need to call it, or do you have it?
it's entirely up to you. I've got it written down.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you've got it.
So we'll do the first one here for Mary and Cassie. And that's
That was number 8.
25064. The question is the same for the both of them.
Okay.
The question is, shall the code enforcement officer's complaint resolution be upheld? Jason?
Yes, would uphold the.
Would uphold the code enforcement
Yeah.
officer's decision?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shannon?
yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes. All right,
Okay.
do we wanna?
You want to comment on that?
Yeah. Nope.
Nope,
We're
we'll just go to the next one.
Next
one.
Okay, so the next one's Mr. Hankins. And same question, shall the code enforcement officer's complaint resolution be upheld? Shannon,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
John, can you, on the way out, talk to these folks about the pending complaints and just give a quick status update? I know that you're not intimately involved with it, but I think you do have, you can fill these folks in so that they're aware of what's going on with that.
You want to do that in public? Chris?
Yeah, you guys can just.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome to stay and watch the other folks. I'm gonna go ahead and guess what happened.
All right, we'll scoot back to the Colts.
All the way to the top.
Yes. All right,
Have a good evening.
how do you guys feel?
Fine.
Good.
They got it off the creek.
Yeah,
well-
they took it off the creek side. She did make changes and concessions.
It is actually kind of a little bit difficult in that
Yeah.
area to do something different with
Yeah.
it, so, I think I like this idea better than,
Me too. She
By the creek,
clearly took advice and
Yeah.
did something with it, so
yeah,
I'm good.
right, and it's gonna be hidden.
Yeah, nobody's gonna see it.
Alrighty, okay, Corinne?
Okay, sure. So shall the request of a 58-foot front setback and an 84-foot setback variance from the creek on the property be granted? Janet,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes,
Dave,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes. Okay. Findings of fact, right? I gotta do that. Now, let's see.
It's not significant.
Right, the applicant, it's not a significant variance request.
They've accommodated the ECB by moving it off the creek.
Absolutely. They were, yeah, they did definitely work with us on that. They're making arrangements to hide the air conditioner. It's not changing the character of the neighborhood.
Because it's not gonna be visible.
It's not gonna be visible. They actually improved the
guys,
plan,
Lie down, please.
and we don't see this as a significant variance, so what else?
Don't have any other.
Is it self-imposed sort of, but there's not a lot of places to stick this.
Yeah, plus, yeah, with that area, the lot presents challenges for a different location.
And it's based on the plans and drawings submitted.
Correct. Thank you.
It's conditioned, it's a 1-year sunset
Thank
and conditioned on plans and variants, plans. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
You got it. All right, next one, the sign, Passes Superior sign.
I'm gonna vote like Terrence.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I
It's
mean,
a no.
honestly, it's a no, I
know
mean,
we have
we've
to survive.
denied signs for,
We denied the one he pulled up. We
Right,
denied Sierra.
and,
yeah,
yeah, they can make it smaller.
They
I mean,
can. And Big Lots is only, well,
yeah, at least they went to 36.
Right,
yeah, it wasn't Big Lots. Maybe.
and Big Lots was way before us, but also Big Lots it's only a few letters, it's not.
I'm not thinking
It's a huge sign.
It is a big
United Auto
sign.
Supply,
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-foot letters.
Yeah, those are.
Time for an acronym.
No, that's 15.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not thinking that the Big Lots large sign helped them at all.
No, I don't.
No,
think
it
so
did
either.
not.
Yeah, we
But
could,
I did the
It is
United,
great.
I did the math on the United Auto Parts. That's 15 linear foot if they reduce it just 12 more inches.
yeah,
And then that depends on how much the width would be reduced. And if it would be a square, you're at 255 square foot. You get well into the allowance with going not that much.
just changing. I know there's standard sizing and they can do something custom if,
So. I couldn't figure out a way to ask her, do you wanna just ask for 36 inches right now? But. are you
she
saying-
didn't even
As a-
attempt to.
As a general proposition, not specific, but. Mike's gonna talk to her tomorrow.
Okay,
How do you feel about 36 inches?
I'd like to know the total square, I'd like to know the width.
You don't,
Right.
you don't have to answer that question, I'm just thinking.
I mean,
If you don't.
would she be able to reapply if we deny it tonight?
Yeah, 36 inches, yeah.
Okay, so it'd be significantly,
You don't have to
significantly
answer
different.
that,
Okay,
it's fine.
gotcha,
I just-
gotcha.
If
Well, I
12
remember-
inches was
I'd be
enough.
more in favor of 36 inches.
Well, I remember
Yeah,
when we had
it's-
asked her.
12 inches is gonna be pretty damn close to the, excuse my language, sorry. To the allowed amount. It's gonna take you down 100 square foot.
We've
Easy,
given
so.
relief on some of them that were close.
So I would guess that
But probably
they're gonna
not
be in the
the end of the
ballpark at
world.
the.
It's
Yeah.
worth it to try 36.
Yeah,
So if
absolutely.
we left it open, she could modify.
I mean,
it,
that's
is that
kind of
you're
what I'm
saying?
wondering.
Sorry.
She can come back with the new.
Yeah, it's already closed.
Yeah.
Right, that's,
She wanted to-
I didn't know if we have the power to open it.
No.
All right, yeah, cause that's
Just
kind
have her
of,
reapply,
Alright.
if they want, I don't know.
Not a big deal.
I'll email him, I'll talk to him. I just tell her. You better have reapplying. for
yeah,
36.
just tell them we've denied the other ones.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, if your response was hell no, it has to be 26.
Right,
before.
well, no, I mean, we get it, we understand it's
voted?
off the road. No,
Yeah,
we
we
have
should
not. Okay, we can call it, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. Shall the area variance request 116 square foot be granted for a speech sign? Shannon,
No.
Jason,
No,
Dave,
No.
Kelly,
No. All right, we feel that allowing a sign of this size would set precedent. It
It's a-
can be
it's very
achieved,
substantial.
yes,
It is
it is substantial. It can be achieved, by,
Other ways.
yeah, other means. And, yeah.
The benefit is not
Thank you.
outweigh.
Look, I love how everybody chimes in. Here, you guys keep going. Perfect. All right, anything else? Oh, and, oh no, we denied it, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to say anything about this plan submitted. All righty. Onward and upward, right? German Brothers. Now that'll be fun.
All right, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna say, I'm coming out again, but
What?
I would like to delay this vote until Chip is here. Chip lives there.
I know.
I would
Well, so
love to
do
hear,
I.
well, I was gonna dismiss you, but
We're okay, guys.
Alright, so everyone
I hear
okay
ya.
taking your 62 days?
yes, that's all
Sure.
I'm saying. I'd like to hear
Oh,
what,
okay, we could do
I
that.
would like to hear what Chip has to say about this.
We could do that. I
I mean, he's
think,
lived there for longer than you.
yes, he has. I keep hitting Dave for the abuse. He wants to file a
It's gonna
complaint.
start crying.
Yeah, right.
Motion to, Dave made a motion. to
Okay,
not-
anybody
well,
else?
He's just not voting, it's by consensus.
I'll
Yeah.
second it, I guess.
If you're all
All
right,
right.
that's sorry. I know we.
No, it's okay, cause I actually, that's such a hard property,
Fine with me, I'll approve.
you know.
Yeah, okay, everyone
Okay.
agrees, next.
All right, so we'll move on to the next one. Marathon Engineering. I have no issue with this one.
I
This
have
is
no
the-
issue with
The
this one.
Parkside one?
Yeah.
I don't-
Me.
And that they're within the zone, it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. This is the same conversation. This was that funky building that was gonna
Yeah.
be 2 stories that we already. They're same logic applied as far as you can't get on the easement, I get that, and then the transparency with the.
And it's not self-created, you know what I
No.
mean? Like it's
It's an
kind of
easement,
a,
yeah.
right, it's
And-
so,
As form-based code buildings go, they did as much
Much
as
as
they
well.
could.
They really did.
That's
They
really
really did.
close to the
They-
road.
yeah, they
with
did a
the
lot.
easement there.
yeah. And it is a
And they
residence, you don't
they
want,
articulated the building
Yeah,
just to
right.
stay on the
but you don't want a
street.
commercial view or a commercial feel with a residential area,
All
you know?
bathrooms have plate glass.
Yeah, right?
This
That'll be
benefits the
nice.
town.
This benefits the town a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you can call it.
okay, sure. Shall the requested variance for 28% sod within the buffer zone and 18% transparency be granted? Shannon,
Yes,
Jason,
Yes,
Dave,
Yes,
Kelly.
Yes. All right. All those reasons we just said. Just kidding.
the benefit outweighs the detriment.
To the neighborhood, correct. They did their best to keep within
The form based.
the form-based code.
within the character of the neighborhood.
It is within the character of the neighborhood. The easement is actually an issue that they had no control over, so the lot is actually part of the problem.
Applicant, put forth a lot of effort
Yes,
to comply with the form-based code, the principles of the form-based code. The variances are not substantial
right, yeah.
based on the type of build, type and location of the building,
And this is the second phase of another project on top of it, so,
but also blends.
yeah. It was part of a bigger plan.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, I think it
No,
was, wasn't it?
No.
Didn't they, yeah, they did it. Oh, never mind.
No,
Anyway.
this is like a completely new.
Is it
idea.
different?
But I think it's, oh, maybe,
I thought it was part of the
I don't
other.
think they own this land until recently.
No,
Alright.
I think the other people did.
That works. Oh, and with the plans presented. within-
The
And the
usual.
condition.
All right. All right,
Last one.
last one, Sandy Beach. What a cluster. No.
They really pulled it together here at the end.
Yeah, right?
totally against this.
Me too.
Me too.
Well,
Me
my
too.
God,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really does.
It
You know,
really
the
does
view.
impact the
Oh,
view.
yeah. Well, and they've already kind of with the boathouse pushing it over in the guy's tree.
You're 4 feet from the property line,
Right,
that's,
4 feet.
that's.
And I saw the look
substantial.
on your face when I asked about maintaining the property, when
Oh,
you
yeah.
said you can get a mower through there, we were both like, what?
You know, he said you can get a mower through there now, but you're gonna shrink it.
Yeah. Oh, he
Um,
said now?
Yeah, he said the word now.
Oh,
Push mower is with.
You can get a mower in 4 feet,
What
but,
about a fire hose or a ladder
Yeah.
or a, you know, what I mean?
so, you know,
Oh, did we vote? No, we did not.
No.
So, okay, I guess we can call it.
Sure,
Chris is ready to get out of here.
there's three
Yeah.
variances
I'm
to
trying.
vote on,
I
so
think-
you just want to time together. The first
Right.
is side
Yeah.
setback variance request of 4 foot.
Okay.
The second's a lot coverage variance request of 2 feet. And then the last one's building coverage variance of 5.5%. Shannon,
No,
Jason,
No,
Dave,
No,
Kelly.
No. I did my best, Chris. I was trying not to be.
no, you
Super
had,
rude.
you did great, you had no control. The reasoning is,
are you good
Oh.
with everything you
Oh.
need? Yeah, this is.
Wait, do we have to have a
the-
secret? Or yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I guess we
The
do.
benefit to the applicant does not outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood. It is a substantial variance and it
The-
is self-induced.
And
And-
literally 4 feet from the neighbor to the north.
and it
of
will,
the south,
it's
excuse me.
substantial variance. Yeah.
it will cause a negative
Hardship.
impact on the character of the neighborhood and on the neighboring property.
Correct.
No, I think you really pulled that together, that was
Not bad.
gonna get derailed
Yeah, it
no matter
was.
what.
I was trying to be
Oh.
polite anyway. Are we? Any new business or minutes
Minutes.
or anybody read the minutes? I
We
skimmed
read
them.
I read them. Chip had some comments. I
Yeah.
think they were incorporated.
Yeah, I took care of, I did have some mistakes I seen that I.
Okay.
Yep.
Like,
They were
Anybody
very
else?
long.
So,
I did, I know.
okay, so you're making a motion?
Yeah, we.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Anybody else?
So,
You seconding it, Dave?
I'll
All
second it.
right, there you go. Jason seconded it.
All good.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
and then Dave, were you making a motion
yes.
to limit the number of applications per agenda?
well, I mean,
think
we
that's in our
use.
rules of procedure, but
I
Yeah, I
have
think it
it,
is
but-
too, is five.
but
He's
It
not
is in our rules of procedure, but we had all those continuing ones as well.
well, is your rule, I forget. is your
Well, I
rule
think what
No more
happens,
than 5 or no more than 5 new?
Thought it was 5 now.
I think it's 5 total.
Well, I just think the last couple meetings, things got trumped up pretty decent, and
Really?
it's, but I
We
don't
can
know,
do it.
it had to be.
I also think when you're having an agenda like this, there's an incentive to push it.
Yeah.
To say, let's wait, let's not vote on it.
It was better than the last one.
Well, you got two things that take a lot of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. No, wait.
In the parking lot.
Meetings shall be limited to a maximum of 4 new applications.
Yeah, I think we
Not
left 5.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah, I
had a
think we
number
left
of
5 for
continued.
the.
We had
for
most of these
continued,
were
right?
continued,
Most,
Yeah.
yeah, there are technically only 3 new.
Yeah, that's why I said there was so many continued hearings.
I do know, I do know somebody contacts Chip before the meetings and asks, is it okay if we do more than that?
They.
All right, well,
But
so can you convey to Kim that the Dave's getting dissatisfied with the way the agenda? Just because that's legitimate.
Don't make Dave mad.
Oh, yeah. Dave's coming for you. No, I think it's legitimate. And again, things are.
Yeah, right?
Sometimes it's fine, but if you need to.
Yeah.
Put your foot down to get things back on track. I think that's-
Well, we
Dave was
hopefully
gonna
are not
start
gonna
fighting
have
over there.
some that's supreme.
I'm flabbergasted at how tolerant Dave was today.
You know?
We didn't touch.
Really?
Hang on a minute.
I thought he was gonna.
so we technically only have 1 continuation going into next month.
Yeah,
Are we adjourned?
Dave did it.
You gotta adjourn, like, so.
Oh, okay.
I,
Make a motion, meeting adjourned.
Second.
second.
All right, all
Yeah.
there?